Let's take a closer look at the world of classic car investments. At first glance, it's a world filled with nostalgia, beauty, and the potential for big financial returns. But when you dig deeper, it's much more complicated and worth thinking through carefully. First off, there's the big issue of maintenance costs. These aren't just any old cars you can take to a regular mechanic. Classic cars need specialists who know both the history of the car and modern repair techniques, which can get expensive. These mechanics are doing more than just fixing up cars, they're preserving pieces of history. Finding the right parts can also be a hassle, as many haven't been made for decades, which turns basic repairs into global scavenger hunts. Keeping these cars running is impressive, but it's not cheap. Storage is another important factor that people often overlook. Classic cars need more than just a regular garage. They need climate-controlled spaces to keep them safe from rust, wear, and damage caused by changes in temperature. This isn't just about keeping the car in good shape, it's about maintaining its value. A well-kept classic car can go up in value, while one that's poorly stored can end up costing you more than it's worth. This turns storage into another major expense. Now, let's talk about the market itself. The classic car market is like a mini world of its own, driven by supply and demand, generational tastes, and even pop culture. We often hear about record-breaking auction sales, but most classic car owners aren't seeing that kind of glamour. Values can swing widely based on everything from changes in pop culture to new environmental regulations. So, navigating this market takes more than just financial know-how. You need to have a good grasp of cultural trends and automotive history as well. Insurance for classic cars is another layer of complexity. It's not like your standard auto insurance. You're usually dealing with agreed-upon values, restrictions on how much you can drive the car, and special coverage for things like spare parts. The cost can be high, but so are the risks of not having enough coverage on something that could go up in value. Balancing protection with practical use can be tricky. One of the most interesting dilemmas with classic cars is balancing preservation with enjoyment. Every time you drive one, you might be lowering its value, especially if it's rare or has low mileage. So, owners often face a tough question: is the car really yours if you never drive it? Is the joy of driving worth the potential hit to its value? It's a personal choice that each owner has to figure out for themselves. Then there's the environmental angle. With the world moving towards greener transportation, these older, less efficient cars can be harder to justify. But there's a growing trend of converting classic cars to electric. This raises questions about what makes a car classic. Is it still a classic if you replace the engine with an electric one? This is a debate that's just beginning to take shape. Despite all these challenges, classic car ownership has its own rewards. These cars aren't just transportation or investments, they're pieces of history. They represent changes in design, engineering, and culture. Owning one can be incredibly fulfilling, offering a connection to a passionate community and a tangible link to the past. For those who really know their stuff, classic cars can also be profitable investments. People who are able to spot undervalued models, understand market trends, and maintain or restore cars properly can see good returns. It's a niche market that rewards patience and expertise. Classic cars can also play an interesting role in an investment portfolio. While they are not as stable or liquid as stocks or real estate, they can act as a hedge against inflation and help diversify your investments. Their value often moves independently of other markets, which can be useful during economic downturns. Looking ahead, the classic car market will continue to evolve. As younger generations get into collecting, their tastes will likely shape what becomes desirable. Cars from the 80s and 90s are already being considered classics, which changes what's considered collectible. And, with advancements in technology like 3D printing, the challenge of finding rare parts might become less of an issue, making restoration more accessible. In the end, investing in classic cars is about more than just making money. It's like art collecting or preserving a piece of history. If you're thinking about getting into this world, you need to go in with your eyes wide open, understanding both the rewards and the challenges. Ultimately, the choice to invest in classic cars should be driven by passion as much as profit. These vehicles offer something unique, a combination of beauty, history, and driving pleasure that goes beyond just dollars and cents. While they may not always be the most practical investment, for those who appreciate their deeper value, classic cars can provide a rich and rewarding experience that transcends traditional investment thinking. As with any investment, doing your homework, being clear about your financial goals, and weighing the risks and responsibilities are key. Whether it's an investment, a hobby, or both, classic cars continue to capture the imagination and hold a special place in the hearts of enthusiasts. They remind us of how far we've come in automotive history, while still inspiring future generations of car lovers and innovators.